I'm about to play a recording of a dead man, somebody the state of Illinois executed in 1994 for torturing and murdering 33 young men and boys. Name is John Wayne Gacy. That name is synonymous with cruelty and evil. He dressed as a clown but became one of America's most feared serial killers. And now a true crime podcaster with a personal connection to the killer is putting stacks and stacks of Gacy recordings on the air. Interviews with the murderer as he prepared for his trial. Bob Motta is an attorney himself, but he's also the son of the man who defended Gacy way back in 1980. He is the host of the podcast, The Defense Diaries, and he has been releasing the recordings. I can't wait every time you come on the show now because it's just absolutely gripping to hear his twisted mind explaining his killings. Can you set up the first clip for me that basically sounds like he's just, he just pie in the sky lunatic, thinks that all of his killings are justified somehow?
Yeah. Hey, Ashleigh, how you doing? I love being here. So first clip, the easiest way to set it up is when Gacy first got arrested, he gave 5 confessions over 29 hours, the first 29 hours in custody. So part and parcel of that, when my father gets them, he realizes, and Sam and Moranti both realize that they have to go with the insanity defense. Now, what he's asking Gacy here initially is how many victims or potential victims did you have in this house over the course of the years that you were active? And so Gacy gets into that answer, and then we get into, do you think that it was their fault? Was it the victim's fault that they were killed? And the answer you hear will shock you.
Oh, man.
How many people would you say that you brought to your house in the past 5 years, Jen, that are still alive?
Roughly?
Yeah.
Maybe 400 or 500.
Well, why the hell, why are some dead and why are others alive?
Because, like I said before, some of those, the ones that were killed with threats of violence or blackmail or shit like that.
You feel that their deaths were their fault?
Yes. There's not one of them that didn't die that I'm aware of that didn't die through their own hands or through their own wrongdoing. Everybody came to my house willingly, understandingly, and knowingly what was going on.
I mean, again, I don't know that it meets the insanity defense, but it is insane. So, Bob, the next clip is about Tim McCoy. What's the significance of Tim McCoy?
So Tim McCoy was Gacy's first known victim. He was a 16-year-old kid. He was coming back from Iowa, where he had traveled to go with his former friends in their graduating class from high school. He was taking the Greyhound bus. It pit stopped in Chicago. And Gacy, which is exactly where he picked up his first victims, was around the Greyhound bus station, or Tim McCoy happened to be the first kid that he picked up. So what you're going to hear here is Gacy describing what happened at the house that night and how Tim McCoy met his fate.
Okay, let's roll the tape.
I took the knife, I think I stabbed him in the chest 4 or 5 times.
How did you get the knife?
Well, after I knocked him off balance.
Yeah, you said after you knocked him
top
off balance, you were holding his arm, and he slashed your wrist.
Yeah, because he came down with the knife, and I knocked him over. When I fell on top of him, when I fell on top of him, the knife was in his hand. Grabbed the knife from him, and...
This is after you had wrestled into the other bedroom.
Yes.
Then he fell down and you were on top of him.
Yes.
Did you have clothes on then?
Did I have clothes on?
Yeah.
I think just underwear.
Did he have clothes on?
Yeah, I think he had his Levi's on. Just his pants. No shirt, no shoes or socks.
So he wasn't dressed to leave?
No. Because I think he was saying that he was sorry. He was sorry. He didn't mean that he wasn't going to hurt me, or I don't know.
You stabbed him 4 or 5 times?
Yeah.
Did he appear to die immediately, or was he still alive? Was he breathing, or did he appear to be lifeless after the stabbing?
I think after the first or second stabbing, all you could hear was the the gargling of blood from his lungs.
It's so chilling just to hear that matter-of-fact description of killing that boy. I know it's hard in retrospect, but do you think that your dad and his co-counsel ever got anything sort of worthwhile in terms of trying to establish an insanity defense?
It was so tough with him because he just denied remembering anything. Like a bulk of the tapes is my father trying to draw out of him the truth, and Gacy just kept playing this game like, oh, I don't remember, and probably we'll get to a clip at some point through our travels together. Actually, this clip where my father really, really goes hard at him, trying to understand, well, John, you gave, the description of 5 murders to the police in the first 29 hours. And I understand you were on Valium initially, but by the 5th confession, you can't claim that anymore. So, if you think that you're figuring out what our best defense for you is, you're not. So it's fascinating stuff,
Wow.
really.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth, our journey together, because it continues. I can't wait to have you back on again and to continue with the tape. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.